Gosh, we've got pop-ups. All right. We're here. We're getting all the tech stuff plugged in. Perfect. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Does that look okay? We can see. Everybody's good. All right. Well, I used to do these several years back. It's been a while. For those of you who don't know me, I am Haley Hoover, the Sparkling Hippie. That is my business name. And I want to start doing these live paint and chats once again. These are very, very intuitive, freestyle. I'm an intuitive artist, so the art will be intuitive, but also the chats will be intuitive. So I hope you'll enjoy these. I plan to do them once a week, Thursday mornings. Today's my first one in a long time. So we'll see how we go. So early in the morning, I like to start with my green tea. This is lavender green, and that is from Columbia Cates in Columbia, California. It's very, very nice, gentle green blend. So if you see me, hear me or see me sipping and slurping, that's where we're at. Very good. Okay, so a friend of mine last week shared with me something I had never heard of, and it's called jelly plates, so jelly printing. So I went over to her artist studio just down the street here and had some fun, real quick fun. We did it just in probably an hour. But I thought some of these prints turned out really cool. Some of them turned out not as cool, but I really love that you can see all the depth, the different layers, the textures. This is a word I wrote. I think it's a really cool process, and I'm going to do it here in just a minute and show you. I really liked this one. I thought it turned out really neat. So, well, I'll tell you in a minute. This one, less neat, right? Didn't pick up as much color. So I am very, very new to this. This is only today live will be my second time using this tool. So we're going to learn together. But here's, just some things we made before. And then I did some smaller prints like that one. You can't really see much. This one didn't turn out great. I did like this one. I kind of enjoyed you can see the pinks and the greens underneath the black, the texture. Thought that was cool. This one's neat. And then this one. Okay. So curious, those of you who are live, curious if you guys have heard of these jelly plates or jelly printing. Completely new concept to me. We're going to start with, she's letting me borrow the small one and the big one. We're going to start with the larger one here. I don't know exactly what size this is. So this is a 7x10 notebook, and it looks to be about that size. So, okay. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So curious if anyone else has heard of this. I had not. So first we're going to take the plastic off of this. So this is just protective plastic when we're not using it. And you can see it's like, I don't know, Jell-O? Kind of. It's a jelly type of, yeah, you can see how loose and. So this reminds me of in school when we did, I forget what it's called, like actual prints, and you had to carve out the cork board, and it was just a whole incredibly long process. This is like that, but way faster, and I would say way more intuitive. You don't really know how it's going to end till you do it. It takes a lot of trust. So, of course, as an intuitive artist, I just loved everything she was showing me. So I'm still learning the newer version of YouTube. I'm curious where you guys are from, where you're tuning in from. So go ahead and leave me a chat. I don't know if I can see the chat here or not. But I would love to know who's tuning in, where you're tuning in from. So one of the things we played with the other day was, I love putting words in my art. So we found out if we use paint pen on the bottom, it'll come through in layers. So you can kind of see before we go any further. These are some trees that I drew from my last session with this jelly print. That's still going to come through. So what happens is it kind of layers itself. Like, so as you add more to the plate, more different textures, different colors, different elements are going to come through. So we're going to be layering, and to me, it's really fun because the end product is so unpredictable. So I'm taking my Posca pen and I'll just kind of draw some, I don't know, fun things, see what we get there. Okay, and so we're going to let it dry just a smidge between layers. It does not take long at all to dry. And give it some, when it dries a bit, then we'll put the next layer on. And then the next layer will dry, and then we'll do the next layer. So it kind of just builds, which is really, really fun. So I don't know if any of you guys have taken classes with me or worked with me before, but I am a huge fan of very, very cheap art supplies. I feel like when we get I do use expensive stuff too, but when we get the expensive stuff, we tend to be more precious, and we don't, let ourselves just be free and create. And so I love the Dollar Tree. I went to the Dollar Tree 2 days ago. I found these really cool. I don't know exactly what they meant for them to be. I'm thinking they're going to be a cool stamp, maybe. We'll try it and see. They had butterflies. Had a couple of different things, but I really thought this was pretty neat. Hi, Blake. Welcome. Glad you're here. Thanks for saying hello. Yeah. So I also don't use stamps a lot, so I'm just learning a lot. We'll talk more in a minute about bad art, which I titled this program this morning. You're going to see me make some bad art, so that should be fun. But also we're going to talk more about the mindset behind that soon as well. So I'm just using, clearance paint. This is pretty cheap paint. Nothing fancy here. In fact, my friend said the cheaper the paint, the better for this. I'm not sure why, but that's what she said. So I'm just going to take, thank you. Thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate that, Blake. I'm glad you're here. So it also does not take a lot of paint. So she also let me borrow this roller. So we're going to very lightly roll some of this on. So you can see that paint pen's pretty dry now. So this is our next layer on top. And what I'm going to do is just put enough down. And you can't see, but over here I'm cleaning my roller. So this will be a fun piece here in a minute. And we're going to I want to take this butterfly and just press it down. See what that does. So you can maybe see that texture. And let's do a different butterfly. Let's do one of these. I'm going to put one here. I'm just pressing into the wet paint. And then, oh yeah, that one's going to be really cool. Very cool. Yeah, so love, Blake, that you're chiming in here. He says he thinks he sucks at painting. So intuitive art is what I teach and love because it's not ever about making anything pretty. It's not about making anything realistic. As you can see, I don't have a plan before I get started. It's about showing up and just doing what feels good. So really more the act of expressing yourself than trying to make something awesome. So I'm going to let this dry just a little bit more before we go in for our next layer. But perfect segue for what I want to talk about, and just this idea of giving yourself permission to make really bad art or just have really bad ideas. I taught a creativity workshop 2 days ago, and one of the things we talked about was coming up with really bad ideas, really bad art projects, and just like this right here. This is new for me. This is something I've never done before. And it's a little bit scary to do something new, right? It's a little bit intimidating. But when we give ourselves permission to do something badly, to fail, to not be perfect, to not be pretty, or anything, and all of a sudden we open ourselves up, we take away the pressure, and we're able to do some cool stuff because we're not trying so hard. We're not trying to be perfect. No, I'd use a different one. So I'm just putting a little bit of paint here. We'll see how this goes. And now we're going to just rolling it out here. See what we get. So this will be a nice next layer. I'm going to go this way. So what it's doing, it's layering over those first layers that we did with the pen and the butterfly. Okay. So I'm pretty cool with that. I'm going to clean my roller over here, rolling it on this piece of paper. Okay. And all we're going to do is we're going to take copy paper. It's just regular printer paper, nothing fancy. I'm just laying it on top and just pressing down. So we're pressing down onto that wet paint, and it's going to pick up. I don't know if you can see my camera moving. My desk I have an antique desk. It's not completely level. So I press down, it's moving, but this is going to be really cool. You guys ready for this? Just get a nice, make sure we're all pressed in. Sometimes I guess people leave it down for a while. Okay, here we go. Ready for the drum roll? See, and the fun part is I never know how this is going to turn out. It's like you have to surrender to the jelly plate. It's in control, not you. Ooh, I did not expect these colors. That's not what it looked like when we put it down, right? So, very cool. So let's see. I'll try to hold it up a little bit. You can see part of our little butterfly here, part there. But we painted over it, right? So it changed in texture. You can see the pink swirl from the Posca pen that we started with. I love all this texture. There's a little bit of a butterfly there. Yeah, really cool. What do you guys think? Let's do another one. So there's our first print of the day. I'm going to set it aside. And the fun things are these dry really quickly. And also, I think what you can do with your prints, I'm really excited to see what I come up with. Like, I'm thinking collage, maybe putting this in the background. I think it'd be cool to do a whole journal. So we'll see. Oh yeah, I have some fun stencils my friend let me borrow as well, so I think we might try those. It'd be cool. Okay, so I'm gonna do something different this time. Let's just start with dabbing some paint on. And that's a kind of a lighter blue. I want to also do maybe this darker blue here. Well, let's see. Should we do this one or this one? I'm going to go with the teal. Let's see what we have here. Maybe a little bit of this. Why not? May not need this much, but cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and just roll through. So I'm curious what kind of art you're into, Blake. If you want to share in the comments. Painting or pottery or something. So I've noticed this about myself. Primarily, I prefer paper and paint or canvas and paint. Pretty traditional. And so something like this really pushes my boundaries, but also ignites my creativity. So I think it's always good to try something new, even if you know you're going to be bad at it, especially if you know you're going to be bad at it, right? It gives you the permission to be terrible, right? Frees you up to do something different. Creativity always takes risk, the willingness to risk failing. And so when we do something new, we're definitely taking a risk. Let's just do a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to just press this stencil in. Curious if anyone else who's watching, drop in the comments. Are you an artist? Are you an entrepreneur? I work a lot with entrepreneurs. How'd you find me? Who are you? How's your morning going? Drop in the chat. Let me know. Curious what made you decide to stop by and say hello. Okay. Ooh, I like that. I also really think this one's kind of neat. So I'm going to butt them up against each other. Do something crazy here. I can't hardly press without getting my fingerprints in there, but that's okay. More texture. I love texture. So, okay, here we go. See, I didn't press down good there, but I kind of like it. Kind of like what we got going on there. Okay, what else should we do? Oh, I have an idea. Have not tried this. This is also something I get from the Dollar Tree specifically is my jam. They love artists. They have all these cool craft things. This is actually skewers for barbecue. I like to use them in my artwork to make like scratch marks and stuff. So why not? Let's try it on the jelly print. Let's see how this goes. Let's scratch maybe a word about free. Thanks for stopping by, Blake. Have a good rest of your day. Glad you're here. So I did write a word in here, and it will come out opposite of that because you're mirroring it, right? But that's okay. So it'll be backwards. So the other side of the skewer makes these really cool dots. Very big fan of dots. And then let's do I really want these butterflies to be cool. Use one of these. Oh, yes, girl. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, let's try I like this butterfly. It has like the long, I don't know what you call these things. Pieces of its wing falling off. Let's try it. See if I can get a good print of it. Yes, love, 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 love. Okay, so I'm going to let this layer dry a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to add a fresh layer of wet paint so that this texture will pull up. So I don't know a lot about this, like I said, but I know enough. I know enough to have some fun. I say we layer with purple. Okay, let's vote. This next layer, should we do purple or green? So drop below, let me know, purple or green. Okay, or wild card. We could do this raw sienna, which I always love a nice raw sienna as well. Okay, so purple, green, or raw sienna. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking. We've got a few seconds to decide. See what we think there. So years ago, I had a podcast, and the very first episode was about make bad art. Still a great episode. I should probably link to it later on. That was I think it was 2020 actually, before the pandemic hit. And it was all about exactly what we're talking about today. Just letting yourself make mistakes, letting yourself be free, letting go of perfectionism. I work a lot with people who struggle with perfectionism, or the fear of what other people will think. And I like to use art to teach the body to release those fears, because those fears are very real and they're in our body. So that includes the nervous system and the subconscious mind. And so in order to release those fears, we have to work on all of these different levels to teach the body and the mind that it's safe. One way we do that is by doing bad art, trying something new. It shows the brain, yes, you can do something bad and you're still safe. You're still okay to fail. Okay, so what do we decide? Purple, green, or raw sienna? I feel like the purple will be pretty. I feel like the raw sienna will give it some depth. I feel like the green, I'm a sucker for green. I think the green will be a little bit of both, maybe a mix of depth and pretty. See how wet we are. I think we can do it. You want to try it? Okay, this is light green. And we're just using acrylic paint. Whoop. Okay, here we go. Got my roller. We're just going to very lightly, it's doing that thing. I forget she said to bang it, I think. Just going to roll that green. And again, I have no idea how this is going to turn out. This is a new skill for me. But we're playing, we're having fun. Art should be about experimenting, expressing, having fun, taking risks. And yet we learn in school not to do that. Oftentimes we learn in society not to do that. And so what happens is we grow up and we have no place to safely experiment, take risks, express ourselves, try new ideas. And so we can often lead us to feeling stuck or unfulfilled or scared or anxious. So I really like to use art as a safe place. I always say it's just paper. You can't hurt the paper. You can let out your fears on paper. You can journal on paper. You can tear it up, fire it up. You can't there's nothing you can do to hurt the paper. Okay, so we've got this wet layer. Here we go. Gonna just press down. Again, we're just using copy paper here. I hope this one turns out cool. I really do. I'm just gonna let it sit there for a minute. So if you are looking for a safe place to express yourself, get to know yourself, come up with big ideas. One simple tool I'd like to share with you while we're letting this press. I'm the author of several journals. Have, I think, 6 now. And these are my copies, so they've got the not for resale, and I've got all my tabs in there, but these can be really helpful, safe place for you to connect with yourself, right? So dream big. It's all about figuring out your life's purpose, what makes you tick, what inspires you. It's a really nice journal, lots of journaling prompts, but I also, have sections where I discuss some interesting concepts. So that's one. I also have very similar, but for entrepreneurs specifically, Sparkling Success, helping you dream big for your business. So if you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, even thinking about it, this could be a good one. And then the other one I'm going to share with you today is Limitless Abundance. This is really all about money mindset and releasing your fears, dreaming big, specifically for entrepreneurs. This one's really beautiful. My friend Jenny Cole designed it. She did an incredible job. So I'll link to these below. You can also go to my profile and see thesparklinghippie.com. I have all these for sale. They're on Amazon. You can get them a little cheaper on my website. Just a fun, safe way to express yourself. Okay, you ready? Can I get a drum roll, please? Let's see how this turned out. Ooh, loving. Okay, let's check it out. Oops, sticky. Okay, look how cool that that butterfly came through very vibrantly there. Sorry, it's wet, so it's bending. You can see this butterfly here. And see, that Posca pen was a couple prints ago, that pink line. You can even still see this tree. You see this tree outline very gently? That's from a million prints ago. You can see my dots. So I love how it creates its own layers and textures. And again, you're kind of, you're just totally out of control. You're kind of at its mercy. And I love this dark color that came through on the side. Again, we didn't use anything dark, so this would be a couple prints ago. So I think that's really cool. What do you guys think? I think I would like to see, I want some more depth. So let's do something and let's try something. I'm going to just take the raw sienna. I like to call it red dirt brown. I'm from Oklahoma. Over here in Oklahoma, this is the color of our dirt. So let's take this. So I'm not adding anything else. Okay, we're just going to put some fresh paint on. Anybody hate this color? It's funny how some colors we love, some colors we hate. Hi, Blake. Welcome back. Glad you're back. Okay, here we go. I'm just smearing this brown around. Just a nice light layer. Okay, I hope this is going to be cool. We'll see. Just clean my brush off. My roller, it's not a brush. Okay. I'm just rolling my brush on paper over here. You can probably hear it. Can't see it. Okay. So all we did was add the fresh color. We didn't add any markings, textures. I'm hoping it's going to pick up a lot of elements from our previous prints. It should do that. Okay. Let's see. Anybody got any fun weekend plans? It's right around the corner. I can't believe it's Thursday. I woke up this morning and I was like, Thursday? I feel like I just started this week and now it's over. It's crazy. I do plan to do these live paint and chats every Thursday. Probably the jelly prints are very special. I'll probably mostly just be painting and doodling using some of my favorite tools, pastels, and woody crayons are my legit favorite. We'll talk about those some other time. Chunkies. So tune in next Thursday, similar time. We'll see what we can get into. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I'll admit, not exactly what I wanted. That's bad art. Well, it's not bad art. It's just not what I wanted. But I do like that you can see some of the turquoise came through. No, I really thought I'd be able to see the butterfly or some of the slash marks from the skewer, but I really don't see much. You can kind of, if the light hits it right, you can see those trees still, which is kind of funny. But I really enjoy the color. I really like this raw sienna with the turquoise. So that might inspire my next art piece, is kind of mixing those colors. Really like that. So there you have it. Jelly prints, you guys. So fun, so interesting. I'm gonna, actually, I'll do one more before we hop off, just to kind of clean the plate a little bit for my friend. I can't believe it's already been 30 minutes too. I was going to show you the smaller jelly plate up here, but we'll do that. Save that for another time. Well, maybe I didn't let it sit long enough. Let that sit there for a minute. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Blake, thanks for chilling with us. Hope to see you guys next Thursday, and we'll do something new, something fresh, something fun. Until then, I hope you take chances today. Make some bad art, take risks, whether that's in art, in your business, or in your personal life. Let it be fun. You only get one life. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.